They're everything is advertised and what we knew they were: big, heavy, hard to play against, structured. And obviously we technically tied them, but we took a trophy from them. So they're going to come in here probably pretty hot and ready to go. We're going to have to be really sharp.
Defensively, they were very strong here. How do you go and attack that defense even get your offense working?
Just simplify, get pucks and bodies in the net, and kind of beat them at their own game. They're not going to give you much off transition. They back pressure really hard, and they're really good D that skate well and have good gaps. So we're going to have to put pucks in behind them, grind them out down low, and the same thing like we did against Omaha when we got going in the third. And just play a simple, hard game.
We talked last week. You kind of said it's hard to get matchups sometimes for your top line. Will that be something you'll maybe try to fiddle around with this weekend and maybe make some changes so you get more production out of your top four?
Well, I mean, as long as we were winning games, we don't really care where the production comes from. As long as all four lines are bought into what we need to do defensively and bought into keeping the puck out of our net, that's what you want. We have enough confidence in our depth that we'll get the production we need to win. I think we've proven that through 24 games. This past weekend's a great example. Our third and fourth line pretty much got us everything. So, with Ryan Alexander out still, the Jackson's out, it really affects the top six, and at what point do you not disrupt what's working really well in your bottom six, and throw it in a blender. So, I don't think we're going to do that because those two lines have been so effective for us on both ends of the ice. So we got to figure out really what we want to tweak in the top six to make it work, but we got a few days to do that.
You just mentioned Ryan Alexander. I know he played Friday. I saw he was out Saturday.
Played Friday. He was out Saturday. He was injured. Played half the game Friday. Was out Saturday. He's probably out for at least the Cornell series. He might be back for Augustana. Perhaps, yeah. He's out this weekend. We might get him back for that, but if not, we'll get him back for sure after the bye week after Augustana.
Generally, as you kind of, each game you make adjustments based off of how the other teams are responding. Is there anything you kind of find yourself repeating on the bench over and over to adjust as each game happens?
Yeah, I think that's coaching, right? You become a broken record until you have a team that buys into an identity, and our guys have. So I think the messaging has been less and less, and that's what you want as a coach. Is you want a team that the deeper you get into the season, the more of a passenger you become, and pass the bus to them, and they're driving the bus, and they are driving the bus now. We're here to guide them. We're here to make some decisions and manage the roster and motivate them a little bit, but we have great leadership, and the guys know what it's going to require for us to continue to win, and right now they're doing it.
Coach, that third line, Kyle Smolen, Ryan O'Reilly, especially Kyle Smolen. What can you say about him?
I mean, he's been really good for us all year. I think now people are just noticing because he's scoring some goals, but he's a 200-foot guy. I trust him in every situation. He hasn't gotten power play time yet. He will before his time's up here for sure because he can play in every situation. He has hard skill. He's good defensively. He's good at the dot. He's been really good for us on the kill. He's a great two-way player, and so when you play over 200 games in the league he did, you come in ready to go. He's, like I said all year, he's a freshman, but he's not really a freshman because of the experience he came in with. So he's just going to get better and better too.
Will that make you look in a recruiting way at guys who spend more time in juniors? I mean, I know so common now, like it's just 2 years and then they're looking.
Well, I think there's programs out there that allow kids to dictate the process when they want to come in. We don't do that. The kids, they come in when we tell them to come in. And if they don't want to come in when we tell them to come in, they can go somewhere else. So Smolen was supposed to come in last year. He was signed to come in last year. And we had a conversation when we had Master Simone and made a decision for Kyle to play another year. And he was in complete support of it. He wanted to do it. He was beyond supportive of it because he knew it would just make him better. He'd come in with more experience. He went back to Fargo. He was their captain. He won an Anderson Cup. He had his best year. He came in that much more prepared with that much more confidence because of the extra development that he got. So he's a living, breathing example of why there is no rush to go into college. Are there some kids that you have to take young and or first, second round picks? Of course. But he wasn't one of them, and now he is already a really good college player because of his commitment to his own development.
Will that change the way you look at developing some other players you got coming up?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, if we're on the fence with a kid, that you always want to err on the side of caution and say, go play another year. Kids are anxious. That's just the way they are. They want to get here. They want to get to college. They want to be a part of this and a part of Mullet and all the cool things we have going on as a program and other programs too. We get that, but I think that at the end of the day, the longer runway you tend to give kids, in the end, it's better for not only us, but it's better for the kid.
How is TJ's play?
What's impressive about TJ, like I think in the past month, is it's like he's getting peppered by shots. So we're doing a really good job of not really giving anybody sustained ozone time on us, but we're still giving up some great A's. Some opportunities off of transition, and he's making those saves. So I think that's the maturity, the maturation process in his game from last year to this year is a lot of goalies. When you're not seeing rubber consistently and you're not seeing all those shots, you get a little cold, you lose focus. He's stepped up in that regard where he's just dialed at all times, and he could go 3 minutes, 4 minutes out seeing a shot and then see a 2-on-1 and make a big save, or a breakaway and make a big save. So that's what he's done for us, especially the last 2 weeks. I think it was 22 shots in regulation, both games in Lake Placid, and here it was what, 26 and 26, something like that. We're doing a good job of limiting shot count, and TJ's doing a great job of holding us in games when we're giving up those grade A's. Excuse me.
Now that you've faced all the NCAA opponents that you're going to face in the regular season for this year, does that, obviously you guys knew what you were kind of getting into for next year, does that change anything from a mindset perspective, especially seeing those two teams that'll be in your pod next year?
No, I think, it's been a kind of a frequent question. Right now, we're not in the league. We're looking forward to getting into the league, and it was a great precursor to play 7 games against teams in that league this year. I think our record was 3-2-2, and, we lost one of those games in overtime where we had a 3-goal lead. It could easily have been 4-1-2, which is pretty damn good, So it's a good precursor into the future, but we've been focused on this season. What we have to do as an independent, we're still an independent. It's hard to get in as an independent. We're in a position today where we feel really good about our chances and the way our team's trending and how we're playing and how guys are bought into what we need to do every day. So that's what we're focused on.
Coach, I kind of want to ask, over the winter break, and I apologize for being asked, you bring Chase Hannon as a third goalkeeper. Was there some kind of happened like that?
No, Hank Levy just decided he wanted to, being a third-string goalie is hard, right? And there's not much light at the end of the tunnel. It's a lot of rubber you see every day in practice, and sometimes kids want to just go be students, and that's what Hank decided. And we have the benefit here of having 3 club teams and one, Division I club team full of some really good players, and Chase was one of them. He was a legitimate junior A goalie in the Manitoba League, and he was their starter, and so we approached him and their coach, and it was a great opportunity for him to come up and be with us, and he jumped all over it.
Appreciate that. Now back to Cornell. How do you get a quick start against the team? You guys did it in that Saturday game. Ended up giving it 2, but it looked substantially better than Friday against Clarkson. But what are you going to have to do in your start this week to really come out?
Just again, be ready to go. I think being in front of our own fans, the guys should come out energized. I think it's probably going to be a really good crowd this weekend, especially with the students back in class. And I think our fans understand what's at stake for us, and hopefully they're going to come out here in big numbers and support our guys, and that will translate obviously to hopefully a really good start.
So kind of just want to get your opinion as a captain. You've been through this first half of the year now. Where do you see this team compared to then to now?
Say again?
Where do you see this team from the first of the year to now? but you're halfway through the schedule.
I mean, yeah, it was a good start. We've definitely taken strides as a team, but like we're not done yet. Like we need to keep on moving, build off the first half of the season if we want to make our expectations of where we want to be at the end of the season.
You guys have got Cornell coming in this weekend. It's one of those kind of rare opportunities where you actually saw them 2 weeks ago. What do you need to change in your guys' game to play against what's going to be a tough Cornell team this week?
I think we just need to put a more complete 3 periods in. When we played them 2 weeks ago, we had times in the games that were good and definitely times that weren't as good, which is kind of how they were able to get their offense on. We definitely need to kind of tweak our special teams a little bit. It is a rare chance that we get to see the same team 2 weeks later, but it should definitely be a good contest. They're a hard, heavy team, so we're going to be ready for it.
Scoring a lot right now coming from your bottom 6, which you love to see, but as a top 6 guy in that second, first line as well sometimes. What do you guys need to do to kind of try to generate more scoring? I know Coach Power said last week it's hard to get that, matchup always in that top 6, but what do you guys see that you can do?
I really think we just need to keep on doing what we're doing. Stick to our game plan of playing a hard, heavy game. I think we can probably do a little bit better job of getting the puck down low and kind of grinding teams out. That's what brought the third, fourth line success this past weekend. They were able to get the puck in, they were working it down low and finding the open guy, and that's how they were able to score. So I think if we can get all 4 lines doing that, it'll be really good. It's great to see, though, that scoring is coming from all 4 lines right now. You need that in the run. So.
How would you describe your confidence level on the ice when TJ's in the net?
It's unbelievable knowing that he's back there. All season long, he's made some unbelievable saves for us, and he definitely helps us out in close games like we've been having. And this year too, it's having him in net, even when we're down by a goal. Just knowing the group that we have in that locker room and the resiliency that we've showed in the past, it's been awesome to have that confidence in him to know that he's going to do his job. All we got to do is go out there and do our job.
What have you seen from Smolen? Obviously, he's been good for you guys all year, but especially these last 2 weekends. What have you seen from him that's kind of helping you get stride?
He's definitely taking strides. He's clicking right now. He's a player that definitely likes to keep the game very simple, which is really his strong suit right now. That he's keeping it simple and it's finding his way to success. So he's finding the back of the net, he's shooting pucks, and they're getting in, which is good. We're going to need that.
Your third line as a whole has just been playing really well. Kind of what's been that change in that commitment for you guys?
Just time together, being on the ice all the time together, being around each other at all times, joking, laughing, having fun, just building chemistry in any way we can. And when we have success, we congratulate each other, and then we move forward and talk through what's working and what's not working. And I think that's the biggest thing on the bench is when we don't have a good shift, as we go over it as a group and figure out why it didn't go well and what we could do better, and then we go out there and execute.
Talking about how you play the past couple of years, especially, you said that you keep your game very simple. Is that kind of how you success on the ice too?
100%. That's kind of how I played it throughout my entire career, is putting the pucks to good areas and going to the hard areas of the ice and just making it easy and predictable for my line mates to be able to have success around me. And it's proven useful out in Fargo, and now it's proven useful out here, and I have no reason to change it.
I kind of want to look back. Correct me, you played 4 years in junior, correct?
Correct.
Do you feel like that 4 years has actually really kind of put you a step ahead to becoming a now freshman? You played so long in that 4 years?
100%. I encourage anybody that's in junior hockey to just totally use it. I think it's the biggest advantage ever is having time to develop as a player, and then when you're ready, you have 4 years, you can either use them all or not. I recommend using them all because it made me a more mature player and gave me the opportunity to score points in ways that I've never scored before, which it helps me translate into the college level. Obviously not at first, it takes time to get used to the learning curve, but I think the biggest thing was being able to find ways to score in ways that I never have before. So I totally think, yes, absolutely, use it while you can.
How stark was that change?
I mean, you got guys that are 25 years old, going from 18 to 20 to 25, it's a big jump. You go from young men to men. They're big, strong, fast guys out there, and getting used to that speed and then having to find ways to defend against those big, giant guys, it's not easy. But once you get used to it, you find different ways to succeed through that. So.